Hey, it's Road Dog here with some of the members from LA Guns, historical rock band, of course, from LA. How are we, guys?
I'm good, buddy.
Yeah?
Yep.
How's the road treating you these days?
It's good. You know, we're always on the road. We're one of those bands that works all the time.
Yeah? Well, that's important to run because, you know, you keep them working and you guys are working with one of the, as far as I'm concerned, one of the most historical bands of the 80s. If you think about it, we were going over the history of it, and you know, we knew some of it, but the more we did research on LA Guns, we found out it's a question that we're going to throw at it. Basically, it's the mother band that had so many that came from that band. If LA Guns never existed, such as Guns N' Roses, Hollywood Rose, all this, you know, Cinderella, so many other bands, Wasp and that, were formulated from this band.
That's right, yeah, they were right there at the beginning.
The history and so on. So where are you guys coming from? You've been on tour. This is, you're of course, you've been here in Canada for a little bit. You were down in the States, and this is a world or just a North American tour you're wrapping up?
We're doing everything. We have some UK dates that are coming up too, but we have a lot of stuff in the States booked. We're going to be going like every weekend all the way through to October.
Well, the weather's good. Just keep traveling.
Just keep going, you know, and we have to stay on the road a lot. You know, that's our only outlet now. There's not a lot of radio, there's not a lot of TV. So you got it. This is, you know, we're fortunate we can go all the way around the world and play a set of our own material. So that's cool.
Right.
You know?
So yourself, you came with the band. You were from Wasp originally.
That's right.
And when did you sign up with the band itself?
Yeah, they were recording their first album when I was doing Live in the Raw with Wasp.
Right.
Live album. And they recorded their first album. This was in '87, and I was when Blackie was disbanding the band too, that original band, that great Wasp band. He sort of fired everybody. And they recorded their album, LA Guns, and they let their drummer go immediately before they did any touring, before they even shot the cover. So I joined, and that's how I got on the cover. But I was actually not even on that album. I was still in Wasp when I was doing it.
Right.
I've been in ever since.
What was the question?
When did you get involved with this band?
I was like 5 or 6 months.
So I said you're the baby on board, right?
Yeah.
And you're having one hell of a ride, right?
Definitely.
But he's done a lot of stuff too.
I was going to go into like yourself. What's your history? Where are you coming from?
I had my own band called Endeavor After. Toured with a lot of the same bands that we're touring with now. Skid Row, Poison, Cinderella.
Those guys are magnificent. A couple of years ago, they were opening up with Sammy Hagar, and the Road Dog was backstage with those guys. And the first thing they said as they got off the road, they said, "We're sick of tequila." I says, "You got any smokables, Road Dog?" I'll take care of it. So
I started touring with those bands when I was like 23.
yeah, they're a lot of fun
I've
guys.
always been the baby or the baby on board, or
That's all right. It's all right. You see it from a whole different angle.
I
You
actually
know?
like it. I have a very nice vantage point.
Yeah, that's all right. Nothing wrong with that. You're the youngest one of the group there, so you get the you know the real cute little. You know,
Oh, and he does.
they chase you around and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We get the more sophisticated, being the older rockers in this industry. Yeah. We can tell you the history. We got the history, the money, and the time, and the knowledge and stuff. But the young pups, you know, the cougars chase you around. So where are you guys going? You just finished. You said you did Montreal, Toronto, kind of thing.
In Quebec City,
Quebec City.
Here in Kitchener, and then we go home for 2 days. And we'd go out, like almost a 4 week of dates, starting in Michigan, going to Sturgis, going to Boston.
Sturgis.
Yeah, we're playing all over right now in this next coming week coming up, and then, like I said, the way we tour now is we fly out on a Wednesday or Thursday.
Right.
And we do 2 or 3 shows in the area, like a 200, 300 mile range. And fly back, and then back and forth. And unless it's a major tour, we don't want to get a bus and all that expensive having a bus, so we just fly, and it actually works out better. And we work a lot now too, because we're flying in and out of it.
It's fun traveling.
And people don't realize that. I think a lot of people misunderstand what the bands do. I think that they think we just show. And, oh, here it is, and we're here, and we're fresh as easy.
No.
They don't realize what it takes to get
They have no idea. They see the magic of it. And that's what we provide is, you know, like being an agent that books shows or interviews you guys. You guys get on stage and perform, but you've got the miles of travel, the rehearsal time, you know, you've got equipment problems, you've got, you know, it's just nonstop, it's a business.
You're packing and unpacking constantly. So we freshen, you know, we snap into it as soon as we get to the show, but I don't think people realize what it takes to get to the show. It's pretty different.
Well, it's quite the full-time job. They just see the limelight and go, wow, that's great.
Yeah, I feel people see about an hour and a half of glory.
This
pedestal that we're on.
It must be great to be there.
22 and a half hours of
grunt
of course.
with the grunts there, you know, stories.
And the weather and the time and traffic and would you get rid of those girls, man? Oh yeah, that place. And okay, who passed Wayne on the bus? Okay, part of the being part of the Road Dog interviews and so on, we talk a little bit about the history, the historical factor, and then we also talk about educational. Each of you guys have basically, you've reached the platform of your career. Okay, you're there. You've worked for example, what's the biggest shows that you've done? The one that you walked out and went.
I think when you know, I did a ton of big tours with both Wasp and LA Guns, but the biggest thing, I think Phil agrees with this too, is that we did the tour with Def Leppard on the Hysteria tour.
They just lost their sound tech. He died yesterday. Michael, I think was
really cool. And they did it in the round. And so we were in the middle of the arena, and it was always packed, and we played big arenas. Some of them were like 30,000 people in there on the floor, and the stands. That was big.
Quite shit-shocking walking out, and it's like, wow.
Well, that was really wild too, because you're in the round, so you usually have the back of the stage is your back, and you know that, you know, nobody can see it back there, but this is in the round, so constantly while you're on stage, you are on stage.
So about 40,000 people, right?
Yeah, because they filled the floors
and everything.
He did a bunch of shows too.
100,000.
100,000 with Kiss.
We do some stuff with Kiss, opening for them, and like, holy shit, look at the people.
23.
Yeah.
I didn't even have a record out.
Yeah. Quite the instant high, my God, you know.
It totally is.
It was, you know, basically my management at that time was setting me up, like, this is going to be boot camp. It was fantastic.
Yeah. I talked to a few of my buddies from Helix, and they toured with Kiss, opening for them throughout Europe and some of Central Asia and stuff like that. And they just talked about, like, my God, when you know, they come out on the stage and the huge crowds in these soccer stadiums. And just there's no other feel in the world like that.
There's not even faces anymore. It's just little dots.
Yeah. So, what inspired? Who inspired you to get into this? Now, you've been in it for a long time, but of course, then you yourself, you've got to look at the legends of rock and roll too. You've got the history.
I had 3 older siblings and a dad who was fully immersed in music, so I was raised from Michael Jackson to.
So you're saying Michael Jackson's what got you into music?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, great artist.
He actually, I think.
Has their personal problems, we don't know that, but no one can ever take away that man was not a genius.
So good that I can separate those things.
Yeah.
You know, his personal life has nothing to do with
No,
music for me.
you're absolutely.
It doesn't even diminish it.
Absolutely.
It's like, oh, you're sick fuck, but your music is fantastic.
We've seen lots of those.
How many geniuses are there like that?
Well, there's a fine line.
Fine line. I can go on forever.
And their problems too, they come with it, but when they hit the stage, it's a whole different game.
That's right.
What about you?
Me, I started playing drums so young. I'm going to be like 58 in January.
Well, we're the same generation.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we were right there at the beginning.
So, you know, when I started playing drums, if I was born in 56 and I started like at 5 and 6 years old, it's kind of before the Beatles and everything happened. So I got into Buddy Rich and Gene Krupa, and I was like,
Buddy Rich,
I just was like, those guys were like, and still are my idols. But, you know, and obviously then when Ginger Baker came out, Ringo, of course, with Ginger Baker was a life-changing thing for me. And
right.
He still is my idol, and I know there's a lot of technically better drummers, but he is the man, Ginger Baker. So he was the kind of guy that I kind of really, like, you know, followed my whole life. And I'd probably be friends with him too, because he's the endorsed by Ludwig and I
Oh,
am
it's
too.
great
so,
when you finally meet your idol.
yeah, me and him were hanging out now.
A couple years ago, I got to hang with Neil Smith
Yeah.
from Alice Cooper, and I just fell in love with the guy. I mean, I met him as a kid, and then listened to the music career, and then finally he took me in his own home and said, let's do an interview, and it was like, you know, and it's something when you finally get to meet and hang with the person that inspired you to get into music, you know.
It's happened to me a few times with people like that too, and I told them, I come right out and say, you don't know how much of a fan I am, to be honest, you know, let them know.
Yeah. Thing you could say to the youngsters out there that are moving up to keep the rock thing going, what can you say to inspire them while they're listening to this interview on the Road Dogg Show? That, you know, that those words of wisdom that you can say to them to say what it takes, because it's a business for one, we've always explained. It's hard work too, but what can you say that you've done or that you feel that they need to know, that little oomph, that zing, that can get them to that level that they, you know, they need to make it?
It's a practice a lot. Like rehearse your own time.
Networking?
Play all the time, play. Whether you're by yourself or you're
Learn the
playing
songs
in
you
a
love.
shithole with a club and you can't get out of shitholes and you're playing small little clubs, keep playing. Play. Don't
Practice
stop
makes
playing,
perfect.
yeah, because you know, it's all in luck too. There's a lot of luck, but you have to be technically good to be able to play it. But there's a lot of luck in some. Put yourself in positions where you're gonna run into people. You don't know what's gonna happen. It's happened to me so many times. It happened to me with LA Guns. I was out at Wasp, and I rented a studio at SIR in Hollywood because I was living in an apartment, and just to go practice and play drums right after I was out of Wasp. And that's where I ran into these guys. It was just a timing thing. It was luck and timing, and you just got to keep putting yourself in that position. Be around people. Go play the small clubs just to keep playing. You don't know who's going to be there. You don't know who you're going to run into. Yeah.
Just playing the Viper Room, right? These guys.
Oh, the legendary Viper Room. Come on.
There's so much timing and luck involved in this thing, and the only way that's going to happen is not you sitting at home. It's you playing and keeping playing and keep yourself sharp.
Right. Well, there you go, guys. Thanks for joining us here. We're with these fine gentlemen here from LA Guns, and thanks for joining us here at the Road Dogg Show. Keep it loud and keep it proud. Here's LA Guns live on stage here. LA Guns!
Alright then, you guys ready to party old school 80s style?